Okay, we're live, I think. And circles have been invented, and most of the circles are fine. That's good. Okay.
Most of the circles.
Most of the circles are fine. It's mostly fine, everyone. Alright, do you all remember what happened last time?
God, no. Do I remember anything? You should stop asking.
Do you remember?
Sickness.
I blanked out, and all I can remember is like pulsating disco music.
Yeah, you ran a beauty pageant for the prisoners,
Oh God.
which weirdly worked.
It's one of the more ethical things we've done as a party.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst thing the party's ever done. And you did get valuable intel, theoretically, out of it. You also did...
People are calling us the most moral party.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm hearing this. The most moral D&D party. Do not look into what happened at those docks. Anyway.
That team, we actually, in this universe, we invented the cherry tomato.
It's canonically true, yeah. I guess now.
We invented perpetual soup.
Yeah, no, I'm not letting you have that one. That one's for the NPCs of the world, the tavern, the people who own the taverns. So, you also scared some of those foragers. You turned Art into like the devil from Tenacious D. Which I think was a good look.
Three separate devils.
Three separate devils who all look the same, but we're also equally bad at saying cool one-liners. And so they believe there are exactly three devils working with their enemy. Because he was very specific.
He said, "I'm not the other ones."
Yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm the third one." Like, pretty much exactly what he fucking said.
Ooh, I'm another one now.
Yeah, none of it would have been convincing if they weren't, like, if they'd paid attention for a little bit longer, they'd have been like, wait a minute, you're the third one.
That's how you know he's a real demon, because you can't understand his language.
Yeah. Yeah, they put it down to, like, talking in tongues, like... Right. But you did a good job. You got, you remember Tiberius, the very, the large half-orc who got very drunk at your beauty pageant? Gave you all some intel, gave the champion some intel, but they're going to go verify that intel. And you basically have the rest of today to yourselves in the camp with the genie, to read things, to research things, to go looking for stuff, to make plans. But it's going to take a day for the information to be verified. And so you have the rest of today to yourselves. It is the late morning. You are standing outside the tent of the Champion of Tempus. It is a breezy, sunny day, dry air, very pleasant, and it is approaching autumn. You can see the leaves beginning to sort of turn a little golden, and you can begin.
Are the magistrates still after us?
Well, that's the thing, right? We're not going to look for them.
Yeah, that's not one that you go up to them to pay your fine.
I just fully, if someone asks what my name is, I just fully don't say.
Yeah.
What if they say stop criminal scum, then?
Violated the law.
When your name's written in capital letters on your character sheet, that's not your actual name.
Yeah, you're lucky they haven't brought an ID, I guess, at this time.
I guess we could look for a lawyer.
Can you imagine the lawyer character I'm gonna fucking come up with? Can you imagine what kind of asshole he's gonna be?
Some variation of Charlie's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. Yeah. He's magically altered his hands to be big.
Yeah. And they're trying to tell us what is and isn't art. Check out this wood carving I have. Like... Oh no. Oh yeah, you could look for a lawyer in this military camp. I'm sure there are lawyers.
I'm a warrior lawyer. Here's my card.
You suspect the halflings are your best. Halfling contingent is probably your best bet to find a lawyer.
Do lawyers have a uniform in this part of the world?
Well, no, I mean, They probably just dress like clerical workers, right? Whatever the fashion of a clerical worker is in a given area, that's probably how they dress.
Right, so we're looking for someone with a neon headband. That's how clerical workers dress, right?
Yeah, sure.
DM, that's it.
Yeah, why the fuck not? Like, what am I gonna say? No. That's not happened once this campaign, so why the fuck not? You would suspect they would wear like a black robe and have a powdered wig, you know, like lawyer stuff.
Oh, they're British, I see.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna find one.
It could help with the genie.
That's true.
Lawyer versus genie discourse.
Alright, I'm on board.
Wasn't that a fucking episode of What We Do in the Shadows?
I think it was, yeah.
Oh no!
I think it actually was.
Oh, and on the week where I have a chipped fang. Come on.
I'm sorry, am I putting it in? Is it too soon?
Yeah. Well, I have 3 other ones that are fine, but you know, I'm still a little upset between that and the other thing that happened last week. I'm a little bit raw about everything, but yeah. You can look for a lawyer. I'm sure there's one in camp. And it's a big enough camp that like there could be someone who needs legal representation for acts they've committed while on campaign.
We've made enough trouble to start trying to think about it.
You're gonna find like Keir Starmer happy to give legal representation to war criminals.
Yeah. I mean, that's my pitch. Anyone else? I've got no idea.
Yeah, you have the data yourselves in the camp. You can look for anything. Ask. You know, there are magic users in the Champion's army as well. There's all sorts of people you could go bother and ask about certain things. You could pretty much treat it as if it's a city because it's probably a big enough camp that it functions as such.
Well, they made it clear that the Red Knights place is in a different city, so I can't go ask there. The other thing would be talk to the genie, but I can do that after we've got a lawyer, just so we're extra sure things are going to go well.
Well, you're assuming a lot about the lawyer's a lawyer played by me's competence, but, you know...
If it goes wrong, we're just back to where we started. We've lost nothing, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Angry, if this is your quest, do you have any side quests you want to do?
Let me just check my quest log.
Yeah, get your journal out, Agrif. What are you doing?
It just says pendant of action surge and 22 AC. That's not particularly helpful.
Agrif, we have to bring 20 crates to a random villager that's unnamed.
Is there anyone who's just standing in a corner repeatedly saying, "Hello, traveler"?
No, there's not. Everyone in the camp seems to have a particular task. They're going about their business. Yeah. People are, you know, there are some blacksmiths sharpening weapons, repairing weapons, sort of making shields for people. You do spot like someone who does have a stall and is taking furious notes as it's a halfling sitting on a chair, and there's another halfling like explaining something in quite a lot of detail, and he's just writing it down.
Another scribe.
Let's go fucking bother him.
Yeah, okay.
What you doing?
You approach. Says,
"You boy,
yeah,
what are you doing?"
Did you? Yeah. Is that how you approach him?
What day is it?
I'm inexplicably eating something very loudly, just standing next to him, just like.
You're just eating like bread, crunching the bread, like slightly stale bread, and you're getting crumbs on him, like. Okay.
Yeah, just like slightly too close to be comfortable.
Yeah.
A 2-day-old fucking history.
He's just like
an old croissant.
Yeah, like wiping the crumbs off his like notes. He goes and he turns around and says, "Can I help you? Can I help you? You're eating really close to my store. I can't take notes." You didn't understand what they were saying because they were speaking halfling to each other. So you couldn't understand what they were saying. He's like, "I'm trying to take notes so that this guy doesn't go to prison or get whipped by the."
How's he going to prison?
I was going to say, who's putting him in prison?
Well, you see, when he goes back to the village, they might prosecute him for actions done on campaign.
Last I checked, that couldn't happen.
No.
I thought adventurers were immune from all crimes.
Well, he's a soldier, not an adventurer, for one. So
Oh.
jot that down.
Wait, is that true? Or adventurers?
That's also
Adventurers
not.
are immune
That's
from all
also
crime.
not true. You can be prosecuted for crimes. Why? Have you committed a
No.
crime? Because, you know,
Why? Who's asking?
No.
of course not. You haven't committed a crime. Like, you know, if you gave me some gold, you could tell me if you'd committed any crimes, and then I couldn't tell anyone.
Have we just bumped into the halfling equivalent of Saul Goodman?
Yeah, it's
He's
exactly
wearing
the
a
vibe I would.
bright suit.
Yeah, it's like a bright orange checkered suit, like just like a rope. You know, like the way I described like a black rope. It's that, but it's bright orange and green checkered. Like,
can
like
we
a
name this guy
giant
Small Goodman, please?
sorry,
Small Goodman.
Small good.
Small Goodman. Oh my god.
We can't call him small.
He's
Goodman,
got a
that feels-
giant bald orc standing behind him,
Yeah,
looking really grumpy.
yeah. It's a really upset looking orc just kind of hanging out in the camp.
So what did he do then?
Oh, the orc.
Yeah.
You could call him Insurance.
Hi, nice to meet you, Insurance.
Yeah, it's a good thing that's his actual name.
Are there like loads of hyphens in it or something? Because he's an orc.
Yeah, there's like apostrophes across it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's really tall. It's a joke. His name is Insurance.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah, they love that ironic names, the orcs.
Do you have any experience with magistrates?
Well, like judges that punish people. Yeah, that's kind of like my whole deal.
Wait, give him some money.
I don't want to give him money.
All right, I'll give him some money,
How much money are you giving?
and I'll say,
Copper coin in
and I'll
it.
say,
Coin in my pocket.
there's much more where that came from, and give him a wink.
He addresses the other halfling, and just you get the sense he's just kind of like, I'm really sorry about this. You get the tone of what he's saying, but you don't understand it specifically. Where he's like, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna deal with this, and I'm back to whatever you're doing. So tell me exactly what you did. Like, tell me exactly what the problem was.
It's a trap. Don't tell him anything.
I'm his lawyer now. It's fine. I would be a very bad lawyer if I sold out my clients immediately if there was, say, a huge reward for them.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
I guess if you're doing that with like adventurers, they would probably have the risk of coming back and immediately murdering you.
That is, yeah. Why do you think I've got insurance here?
Yeah.
Insurance is
right.
like leaning against. Insurance is leaning against a tree. Looks like he's about to doze off.
I mean, no offense to Insurance, but we can take care of him.
Yeah.
We're not going to. But we could.
He starts snoring a little bit while you're talking.
Got an anime snot bubble coming out of his nose.
Yeah. It's that kind of like part of the early, like late morning where it's just like, yeah, okay, you can have a nap.
Yeah.
Siesta time, as all orcs have siestas.
Yeah. All right. So what exactly did you do that means that you have to
Say you very heroically
Okay.
were trying to save your friend's life,
Okay.
and you accidentally started a massive fire.
Like how massive? Like a building, 2 buildings, like
Keep
Like
going.
a dock.
but
You know.
like a dock in a small riverside town, or like what? What size dock?
Hey, let's assume a big dock.
Like the very well documented fire that happened recently at a certain major port city, for example.
That's the
Hypothetically.
one.
We don't read the news. We don't read the news, so
Okay.
come on.
He starts like making notes. So what exactly is the question? Like what scale of punishment you would get, or like what I could negotiate
not
down
know.
to, or
How do we not go to jail?
well,
You.
well the good news is
I saved your life.
well the good news is you wouldn't go to jail. You would be executed for this. So there's that.
Right,
If go-
that's also not great.
So there's not an option. So like death penalty not an option then.
It's not in our 5-year plan.
Okay.
I guess Angrath's going to his god's heaven, so he's probably fine. But the rest of us aren't that keen.
So,
How do you feel about death, Angriff?
Do you have a heaven?
Warrior's Rest.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like dying in D&D is basically just a speed bump. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back from, yeah, kind of.
With a diamond in the right spell.
Yeah. So, okay, so, like, well, we could probably talk him down to, like, a massive fine, if you guys are adventurers, you've done, like, heroic deeds in the past, right? You've, like, helped people. Yeah,
allegedly.
That would be our angle. We would play up the heroic angle and be like, look, these are simple heroes who made a mistake and they will never do it again.
And to be clear, we did put a stop to an emergent slave trade in the area through this action.
But wait, was the fire on purpose or accidental? Because if it's accidental,
Yes.
then I don't think they can buy the idea that you're trying to stop the slave trade.
Well, I was only intending to burn down the building that had the foreign agents from
With slaves in it.
who assassinated our friend who were setting up a slave trade. The problem is, fire is not like ghosts. Fire can go through walls.
Wait, but ghosts can go through walls, right?
No, ghosts need doors.
Why would they need doors?
What type of ghost?
Also,
What type of door?
What?
Yeah, like,
Well, I mean, if ghosts just phase through everything, they'd just be falling through the earth all the time.
When he's right, he's right.
yeah. Dolores just kind of sat there stunned. We're gonna come back to that. Let's circle back to the ghost issue a bit later.
It is an issue.
Yeah, it does seem to be an issue. I'm just not entirely sure about how. So, the point is, the fire, it was you, right? Was it all of you or just one of you?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Also, you can tell me.
Well, what? Sure.
I've done nothing. I'm made of wood.
I was dead at the time, I think.
Yeah, he was dead at the time.
Okay, so
Elfin doesn't speak, so you'll never get a testimony out of her.
So the good news is, only he would have to be executed. He points at Art, and I mean, if the rest of you are kind of alright with that,
Sort of like, well,
Hey, after saving my friend's life, he would never turn on me.
okay.
But in all seriousness, I think we could talk them down to a very massive fine.
How big?
So in this
So like,
sorry,
he like goes for a bag and pulls out like the specific legal like codex of the city you like of the sort of city that you caused the fire in, and starts sort of the fine. How many people do you think died in that fire?
Don't say anything.
There's no way. Maybe like a couple hundred.
Not true.
Well,
but...
comparable fires.
Yeah, call him R2 confirmed kills.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, so let's assume the worst. 12,000 people or something like that. The fine would be, £120,000 of gold to the state, and then £100,000 of gold divided by the family of the victims. So £220,000 of gold.
Yeah, I mean, just to note,
Sounds like a lot.
You do have a
only
lot of
6
gold.
people died in the Great Fire of London.
How many?
6.
6. I don't fucking believe that, but I don't.
Damn, I don't know enough about the Great
Yeah,
Fire of
I
London
don't have
to
the
contest
wherewithal
that.
to like dispute that as a fact, though. But also, I just definitely described when the fire happened more than 6 people dying.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds wrong.
The problem is you don't have you don't have like the Labour government's like attitude to like victims, where it's property damage is the real problem.
No, it's the lives.
Right,
yeah, the property damage. That's the responsibility of the noble in charge of the docks, and they have to pay for it.
It's not as if Art it's not as if Art sprayed paint on a plane or anything.
No,
That'd be real bad.
yeah, paint. Yeah, he did, threw pitch onto a boat and although actually
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
That's normally meant to be there.
Yeah. Right.
If anything, I'm helping.
To be fair, planes normally are meant to have paint on them as well.
You would think all you're doing is decorating it for them.
Yeah. Maybe it looked fetching in that red. Who knows? Now, well, we can probably negotiate the fine down if you'd done any heroic deeds around the city specifically. You know, if you'd helped anyone out, they could testify for how helpful you are.
We were very helpful.
We saved some folk. We saved some rich kids.
Okay,
From
rich, that's good.
dimension.
Rich kids, that's good. They'll be sympathetic to that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. He starts like actually taking quite a lot of notes now. It's like, okay, so here's what I can do. For a small fee, I can send a letter to the relevant legal authorities and tell them to come here and hold a trial. I'll represent you, and you'll only have to pay probably £50,000 of gold.
Why do they have to come here?
Well, because you can't...
I would rather them here than go there. I'm not going to the fucking...
Well, yeah, exactly. And then, here's the trick. If it goes wrong, we pay a little something to the Champion of Tempus, and he kills them.
Right, okay, he kills them. Great.
Oh, more murder. Okay.
But it's not us doing the murder, so it's okay.
Yeah, he could claim they violated the dignity of Tempus or something and just execute them summarily. He's never done it before, but I'm pretty sure he could be persuaded.
Listen, Angrif, trying someone in a trial is against the principles of Tempus. It's not honourable combat.
Wait,
Is that true? Could we get Angrith to challenge a champion of the city to single combat?
Well, he'd have to... I mean, he flicks through the legal codex and he's like, well, they did bring back trial by combat actually recently in some new reforms. So I guess in theory you could do trial by combat to get out of this.
Now,
we'll be with you, Angrif.
They're going to send some motherfucker. You just know it.
They're going to send like
to be fair,
the biggest cunt alive shows up and kills you.
I feel like there is some kind of supreme god who sits above Tempus, a capricious and ill-willed creature or being.
I don't know who you're talking about.
And to be fair, we have only seen him do one trial by combat and lose, so...
Yeah, the record is 0-1. So
to be fair, that time we wanted him to lose, so we didn't have to go to war. So this time we want him to win, and I feel like our wills clearly have effect on the world, given that they burned down a town.
Yeah. Are we gods?
I think it's too early to say.
Yeah, I think you give it a few years and we'll find out whether that's the case or not.
Get to level 20, we'll talk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you could. In theory, I could send a letter and demand trial by combat, and it be held here.
I don't think Angra feels super happy about doing trial by combat over this.
Oh, it doesn't have to be you. It could be him who fights it. Points at Art.
Just raises eyebrows and looks at Art.
I mean, I'm good in some circumstances. I could do a shitload of damage. If I can slip behind a motherfucker, I mean, you've seen, like, you know, I've assassinated people.
I'd fight for Art too, and I'm made of wood, so I don't even know if I can die. I mean, I assume I can die.
But no, I guess we do have a lot of money, and we could just get out of it like that.
And you can always do what we did to the...
I mean,
what we didn't do.
Of course, the alternative is that you could gamble on me winning the case and proving that you didn't start the fire. Or at least causing enough doubt that the magistrate doesn't prosecute you.
And if we lose that, are they going to kill us?
No, they'll just give you... Well, I mean, worst case scenario, they'll kill you. But that's not going to happen because I'm a very good lawyer.
Can insurance fight the trial by combat?
Oh, I mean, insurance... You don't want him fighting a trial by combat. He's more of a he doesn't like fighting people head on in one go. He likes fighting multiple opponents at once. It makes a lot of difference to him.
What?
It's I don't know. It's like a cultural thing.
He's spec'd into crowd control, not single target DPS.
That's
Okay.
There you go. I don't know. It's some.
He only has grenades.
Yeah. He only has one very long spear that he sweeps in and out constantly.
Yeah,
to
his
keep
guts from Berserk is one gigantic sword.
exactly the inspiration for that as well. I like how people could tell what I've been watching or rewatching lately by what I talk about on these streams.
I also watched the entirety of Berserk and the movies in the last 2 weeks.
But yeah, he's more of a crowd guy. Single combat, and also they frown upon unrelated individuals doing single combat. Like, they'd prefer it to be someone who you know instead of like a mercenary, because that they would refuse like a mercenary.
Oh, so what? Who would? Does the city or whatever where the fire happened in just have a guy that just is employed by the city to fight trials by combat?
Oh yeah,
or is this some bullshit?
They have like a stable of them, yeah.
Stable.
Yeah,
They have like horses with badges of oats in front of their fucking.
Yeah, they occasionally put on like gladiatorial games and such as well. It's the same. It's the same manpower pool, Yeah, because you want to get value from your gladiators.
So spectator fighters.
I feel like we could bribe them to do pretty badly if they're just for hire, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
Yeah, pay him to take a dive.
Well, I mean, it's less than 50,000 fucking pounds of gold.
Yeah, like the amount of gold you all stand to lose. Well, Art stands to lose specifically. The rest of you are fine. So,
Art, this is your trial.
So, so we can do either trial by combat, or we can actually have a trial, which will be a very long and drawn out affair. And well, I mean, it could take months, even.
Christ.
Whereas trial by combat is simple.
Months in a military camp.
Yeah. And the camp moves sometimes.
That sounds, and I don't mean this to sound glib, I know this is a very serious matter. Boring as fuck.
And almost as if the capricious deity at the top of this is directing you towards an outcome. Like, also someone in chat, is that Bridget Empire? Yes, it is.
Sorry if you're excited to see me, I'm just eating on stream, but I'm done now.
Yeah, there's also, you can't see the cat who's having a little snooze, it seems.
Yeah.
Right. So, so like we can do trial by combat, or we can have an actual trial, which I can draw up either letter. Nominal fee, 25 gold. I can take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, can we just do the letter and be like, hey, my bad, we could be a fine and just chill out?
Right, but the problem is they'll just default to like the maximum fine, which would be 225,000 pounds of gold, which is a lot of gold.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna have to do trial by combat then?
Well, if you want to keep the gold, you want to guarantee keeping all of the gold you have.
Do you need the gold?
I don't want to. I just don't want to spend months.
In-game months. Like, we will do time skips because it will occupy so much time.
How ADHD is Art? That's the question here, I think. How long can you stay there?
Getting stuck into a trial by combat just because you've got ADHD and got bored.
Liking the chat at the moment, but yeah, it's all Bridget Empire fandom. 2 comments, both of them about Bridget Empire. What's going on? Oh, anyway,
I have 2 whole fans.
Yeah,
2,
3.
Yeah, you don't count Elfin. You're my friend.
3 fans. It's absurd. Anyway, so I can draw up the request for a trial by combat, although but it would be an innocent plea, basically. You're pleading innocent, and we're going to have a trial by combat.
And who's going to be fighting this trial by combat?
Well, luckily we've got a few weeks to sort of.
I'm asking him specifically.
Art, you don't need to say anything without your lawyer.
Well, I am the lawyer, so.
Okay, let me ask you, Angrith. Do you want to do a trial that will last several months?
I'm Kushti.
I love the idea that the rest of the party is going to go out adventuring while Art's stuck in a trial.
Yeah, Angus just reading a book by himself for like 6 months, just waiting for the trial.
Quest paused.
Yeah.
I'd like my body back at some point.
Oh, you can ask the lawyer about that as well.
Ah, right.
I don't think he knows how to conjure a meat body.
No, I
No,
mean
I
like
mean,
dealing with the genie.
Conjure a meat body.
Yeah, I mean, meat bodies, that would be the preserve of deities and such. That's nothing to do with me. You know.
A lawyer's not close to gods.
No,
That was
because
not
they
a
don't.
compliment,
Because
it's a half an actual
strangely, there aren't any gods called Horace out there. So,
No, they are famously close to devils, right?
yeah, we do advocate for him occasionally, but mainly Jamobili
They have
because he
powers.
pays. You know, he pays up front, Jamobili, so we tend to represent him more.
I didn't
Have you ever
actually
done like
think of
a?
asking. I didn't actually think of asking Jamobili.
Yeah, like I'm sure.
Yeah, right into your local devil.
Yeah, writing to like get Jamobili in to argue with a fucking genie is such a good idea.
It's his friends in the fourth plane of hell.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very familiar with the genies. I've helped them with kidnappings before. Like, I don't fucking know. Okay, right. So am I sending the letter or not? Because it's a small fee. 25 gold to do the trial by combat. Well, I could do either the trial or the trial by combat. Angry's face. Just...
I'm looking at Art's face.
Yeah. What face is Art making right this very second?
The thing is, like, I'm cut between, like, in character, it would 100% be the trial, but in my head, it's like, fuck, I don't want to do that at all.
What we could, if you decide to do a trial, we could set up like a specific session where we do the entire trial in one go, and like so, like we go through the time, but we do the trial.
Right.
Like
No, we're doing the fucking trial.
We're gonna do the trial.
We're doing the trial then.
We're gonna do the trial. Okay.
Oh my
We're doing
This
the
episode, the trial of Arthur Junk on the main channel.
We are doing an episode of just sitting across a desk from someone.
No, we're doing Always Sunny again. Oh shit.
Technically a desk if it's a witness desk.
Oh no.
How are you on bird law?
I'm not familiar with Aarakocra law. Why is that like a thing?
They're just known to be really good lawyers.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you've got a great lawyer. You've got the best lawyer. Don't worry about it. Starts writing up the letter. Oh, the fee is 25 gold up front, and then we can discuss the hourly rate once the letter comes back and we have to start constructing a defense, because they'll have to send us a list of charges and so on. And then it'll be a couple of weeks before they show up, and then we can and then the trial will commence.
I give him 25 gold.
Thank you. And he's sort of writing up the letter. Now, there was talk of a genie.
Oh,
I'm really looking forward to the D&D version, like D&D SVU.
Dum dum.
I'm going to have to construct an entire legal system now, you realise? I'm going to construct an entire trial-based legal system. I'm going to have to read about fucking Roman trials or something now.
Just Dick Wolf, but it's actual Dick Wolf.
Yeah, like, what the... This...
Yeah, are you gonna go more Roman or more medieval? Because like having like the king's justice roll into a military camp.
Into the military camp of a rebel force as well. To rebelling against another empire is so weird.
Yeah.
We got like old Gaulish customs.
Gaulish customs. I feel like the tribal chief decided and then killed you or not. Actually, no, they probably had trials like the ancient Greeks did, because the ancient Greeks were influential in Gaul. But anyway, but yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. That's who founded Marseille originally, were the Greeks. And you know this if you play Rome Total War. Because you're like, what the fuck are these Greek soldiers doing in southern France? Anyway. Okay, so he summons... there are like a bunch of messengers and couriers who run around the camp. He summons one of the champion's messengers, gives him a good old healthy stack of gold, and tells him where to run off to, and he's away with your letter demanding the trial. So it'll be 4 weeks until he comes back. So 6 weeks till the trial begins.
Should we tell the champion that we've invited a foreign military
It's a civil court. It's a civil court. Yeah.
Yeah.
They will bring guards, though, won't they? Let's be honest.
They will bring because they'll probably insist on keeping Art in like a little cage while they do the trial, so...
Oh, come on, that's rude.
Well, they're going to put you in the medieval cuck chair at the side of the camp.
Yeah, they put you in the Michael Walker cuck chair, and you have to watch your own trial. You can't talk during the whole thing. Fucking Lee Anderson shows up.
Not to you.
Yeah, the prosecutor's actually Lee Anderson coming in from Ashfield. Just getting him south into the city for once to do it. There's a one-off bit. So do you want to deal with this genie thing now, or do you want to go tell the champion about inviting the trial here?
I mean, I don't even know. Do I need help with this genie? The genie seems like a nice guy. I've met him. He's got a name. I've forgotten it.
What's his
I'm
name?
writing it down.
I've got his name. I think.
Horse and horse, wasn't it?
No, that's a tavern, and you know well that's a thief.
Yeah, this is the horse and horse and horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a lovely genie called a thief.
Yeah.
He said he'll help me out with a problem I have in being made of wood and not wanting to be made of wood anymore. He does say that I need a flesh body.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that. Don't like that name at all.
A flesh body. What would you
We'll
call
work
it?
on the rhetoric.
I don't know, a mortal body?
But what is a mortal
I
body
thought-
made
I
of
might
if not
be.
flesh? You know.
Yeah, meat.
Yeah, you could call it a meat bag,
Body.
but that seems disrespectful.
Oh, meat body fine, meat bag not good.
Well, yeah,
okay,
because
gotcha.
bag
Organ.
implies an object. You know, like bodies.
Yeah.
Has a
Organ
person-
sack.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the problem that we need the lawyer for, I guess.
To correctly tell you what the term is for a
What is
the
correct...
for a cadaver, incidentally, is what you were looking
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Our
the
gin friend says that he, by his nature, will have to apply any wish in the most mischievous way.
Arbitrary manner. Yeah, I'm familiar
Yes.
with the form. Yeah.
So, firstly, I have to ask for my soul to be put back together, which I feel like shouldn't be that hard, unless he decides to put it somewhere stupid.
You should specify where you want the soul to be and which bits of the soul you want to put back together.
Are there more bits than I know of?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. How many bits of your soul are there? You're the one with multiple soul bits. I assume you have at
Two,
least
as far
one
as I
other
know.
part.
I take out the sad dagger and I give it to him.
Well, then, yeah, you should tell him, I want the soul inside this dagger to be united with the soul inside my body and kept in my body and not put in any other body and this specific wooden body. You need to be very clear about that. Because otherwise, he's going to put it in like a fucking tree or turn you into a chair or something.
See, he told me that I could only put souls into...
I feel like she'd love that. Helping anyone who comes into the room.
That's true. Anyway, so he told me that I could only put souls into bodies that are like bodies. So that would imply that's not possible. But maybe he was lying.
Well, he is a djinn. They're not like notoriously honest.
Says the lawyer.
The other thing is, do you know where to get bodies from that
Like-
have no occupants?
You mean cadavers, which would be the term for what you
I
mean.
prefer them to not be already rotting. I'd like it to be fresh.
Yeah, those are generally kept in like a crypt or like a grave.
He's sort of thinking about it. He's like, I'm going to need you to pay me some money before we continue this conversation, I think. Because I feel like we're talking about an act that is slightly criminal, at least.
I don't want to rob any graves. I don't want my body to be rotting. If I'm going to leave this wood body, I want it to be a normal body that's alive.
Preferably.
That would be nice.
Okay. But I'm a lawyer, not a grave robber or a person who kills people.
We were looking for someone who was maybe the sort of junction between hot and evil.
Well, I mean, look, I'm gonna be real with you. There are a lot
You're a
of
lawyer.
evil
You know a lot of
lawyers.
evil people.
There are a lot of evil lawyers, and some of them pretty good looking. But I don't think that's what you're looking for. I would appreciate if you didn't kill my colleagues.
Oh yeah, it has to be a hottie as well. I think we decided last time, didn't we?
Why
I'm not taking someone else's body unless they're sexy.
Okay, but I'm sorry if this is a stupid question, but why don't you have what happened to your old body?
I don't know.
Because surely it would make sense to find the old body and then say a really long and complicated wish that restores the body and the soul.
How would you do that if you were to do it?
I'm gonna need some time to think about that, but I can see if I could whip something up that could trick a djinn into doing that. But I mean, I guess it's technically 2 wishes, right? Because you would want the body to be restored and for the soul to be put back in. But then,
This is why we needed a lawyer.
but then if you,
That would be 3
but then
wishes.
that would leave you with 1 wish anyway if you found the body.
But how?
Why would we need to
the
find the
problem
body?
is, as far as I can tell, this happened in the Knee-High Empire, and there's something really weirdly logistically bad happened.
He kind of looks at like a pockets like set like sundial he has. Well, I'd probably get walking if I were you if you were going to the Knee-High Empire because in 6 weeks there's going to be a trial here. So,
The other thing I was going to ask is, and I'll just ask this before I ask, because our friend Elfin here has contact with a certain Jamobili.
okay.
And do devils have the ability to get those bodies and bring them here?
That sounds like
Like
a
my
question
body.
for like a cleric or a paladin and not a lawyer who specializes in, well, I'm going to be honest, agricultural law. So,
Right.
yeah, mostly
Almost everywhere.
boundary disputes between farmers. That was my specialty.
Right.
You sound disappointed.
I better start making some jam then, I
Yeah.
guess.
Life's full of little disappointments.
Do you have any fruit I could use for a preserve?
I'm not. You see, I specialize in agricultural law, not agriculture.
Oh,
Yeah, not produce.
Yeah, I'm not a Barry's. You know,
Is there a Barry's?
there is a Camp Barry's for provisions and stock. Yeah.
I want to
Is
stop
that
there on the
what
way
they
back
call
and
it?
get some fruit to make some jam.
Very well.
Or some jam. I could just give him some jam.
I
Or do have
love
to make it myself?
Art's reaction to finding out he's left his life in the hands of an agricultural lawyer in a criminal trial. Is he got you? You didn't
Yeah.
think, you didn't think to check anything he said about himself. Is the thing.
We needed a lawyer to deal with this lawyer.
Yeah, that's the sad truth of it.
I mean, agriculture deals with fires.
Look, it's going to be fine. I've studied criminal law before, just mostly about, moving the fence over a little bit too much. But still, it's criminal law. How hard could it be to figure this out?
Well, you're the only lawyer we know.
Yeah, checkmate, really. Like,
Yeah, he just kind of shrugs and is like, yep, that sounds about right.
Okay.
So,
I guess.
So I guess
it was nice knowing you, Art.
for your genie problem, I think you need to find your original body or already have a body ready to go. But, because then you're either spending 2 wishes or 1. That's really the main difference, and that's really it. As for Art, don't worry, I'll send some letters out to some actual criminal lawyers, who specialize in mass murder, and get some advice on how to build a defense against someone who's obviously guilty.
Well, at the very least, it's mass manslaughter.
Yeah. There's probably a
So,
couple of murders.
not to teach you how to do your job, but let's.
Oh, man. You just see
You see him take a note. Mass manslaughter. Alright, yes.
Cross that out because he didn't do that. We're not charging him for that.
How are we feeling, Art?
We might have to kill some judges.
You see him. You see he's writing in common for your case, and he just writes crimes against humanity as well.
This
With a
is not
question
war
mark.
crimes.
with a big question series of
Okay,
questions.
these do not again, not to teach you how to do your job. Crimes against humanity are, you can't charge individuals with crimes against humanity, and they do not apply outside of wartime.
We're in a
literally
first of
military
all,
camp.
we're in a military camp, so let's not just
Right, but
assume
we
too
weren't
much.
then.
Let's not assume too much about. You think that anyway?
We're going to invent the ICC and the ICJ in this war camp.
Yeah, somehow.
And then not sign up to it.
Yeah.
It's called the Geneva Convention because a lawyer named Genevieve came up with it.
That's right.
And she was conventionally attractive.
Which is why we need to find her for Barb.
But just why can't Barb just wish for her old body to be here and in good condition, and then make the wish for the body to put
That would
her
be
soul
2
into it?
wishes. But
Right,
yes,
yeah.
so that she'd have 1 left, and I guess that would make sense because you get 3 wishes from a djinn.
Yeah. So
Here and
problem solved.
recovered. That's 2 wishes. 1 here, 1 recovered. And then soul reunited and put in that body is 1 last wish. Okay, I'm writing this down. She gets out her notebook. I'm getting my Microsoft Notepad.
Well, there you go. Sounds like you solved your djinn problem. I hope you didn't promise him anything with that final wish.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I did.
Although,
This is why I'm going to delay this a little bit. I'd like to not do this way because I would like to not have an angry djinn.
well, on the plus side, once you
That's
use the 3rd wish, he'll be sealed away for like 1,000 years. So, like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, you'll be mortal, so you can die.
Yeah.
A lot.
What if I'm an elf? I
Are
don't know
you?
what race I am.
Are you an elf?
I don't know.
I'm asking as a DM. Are you an elf? Let me try that as a DM.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, so you will live long enough to fucking get done in by this. Okay.
Which is a problem.
Oh no. This is so bad.
It adds layers of...
How fucked
Problems.
you might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of great.
Maybe we could ask Jabobly if he can find your body, because then that's
This is what I
one
was
of-
going to do and suggest next, actually, Elfin, and I will need your help with this. Is if I make some jam and try and summon him, maybe he can negotiate to bring my body here through some sort of hell portal.
The lawyer like raises his hand.
He's hearing all this and he just leaves.
The lawyer raises his hand and is like, I have a thought, which is, this is the camp of a champion of a deity. Summoning a devil into the middle of it seems like a bad idea.
Not the middle of it, like the edge where we are.
Again, it
Yeah, that's
seems like
just
the kind of
Jamobbly.
thing that he would be kind of mad at. Well, did your friend, the other paladin, react positively to Jamobbly initially?
He didn't react negatively.
As far as I know.
Andrew has walked off
Yeah.
after hearing this part of the plan.
Yeah. Iris like, nope.
We assume he does that when he needs to fart.
Well, look,
He needs to fart a lot.
Look, just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you can make fun of Angriff.
And in that suit of armor, it's really hard to get the gas out, you know?
Oh, that must be true. Do you think it like filters? Oh,
It bubbles up.
yeah.
Didn't need to
Like a
play.
Dutch
Are
oven.
you confusing a suit of armor with a latex bodysuit?
common mistake.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're wearing underneath
My
it.
fucking full plate armor.
Okay, well,
It bubbles up on just round your nose from the fucking body.
the party has just degenerated at this point. The lawyer's like, well, if there's nothing else, I'm always here. Well, mostly. I go to bed sometimes. But, yeah, I'm always here if you have any other legal questions. And I'll be in touch once I get a response from the magistrates. And then we can start planning for the trial properly. Be a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Right, thanks,
Yeah.
man. What's your
Yeah.
name?
Horace. I mentioned it earlier.
Oh, are you a
I-
heretic?
I wasn't listening, Horace.
What's your law firm called? Horace and Horace.
Horace and Horace, yeah. My brother, my cousin Horace. It was.
Brilliant.
Okay.
And yes, that was
Well-
inspired by the horse and horse discourse.
Incredible.
So. Okay. And the lawyer returns to his. You can see him like madly scribbling a bunch of letters because he realizes he's a bit out of his depth with one of his clients. Maybe.
Yeah.
We've all
If
been
this
there
guy
before.
tries to make an international legal argument, I'm gonna kick off.
Just make a note.
Just remember the Nuremberg defense, and you'll be fine.
Your Honor, my lawyer is an idiot.
Yeah. I'm representing myself, which is, you know, the old expression.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry about it. We'll keep it simple. You've done good deeds. We're going to make you seem really sympathetic, and then we're going to promise them that if that you will never do it again, and you'll get the minimum fine.
Remember the slavery stuff.
And the slavery stuff. That's part of making you seem sympathetic.
And we're helping now to free people from oppression in this camp.
We'll sort of see what the mood is like at the time for that one.
I've really got the vibe of the camp wrong if we're doing anything other than that.
No, it's not that that's...
No, I just mean them.
They
might not like
Yeah. We'll have to see.
operating. Yeah.
Anyway, you should probably tell the champion that you've invited another kingdom's court into his camp, and also therefore given away the location of his camp.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to sitting and having to look up international law.
No, I'm gonna try and keep it as simple as possible, but I have promised this trial would last a long time, so I'm gonna have to look up legal practices from a lot of different places.
Should we?
I guess we can.
If it ask legal kimchi for some advice.
Yeah, we should have him on to be the judge.
He's a DM.
He's a DM. We should get him in to be the judge.
Yeah.
Should we ask the champion before we get the guy to send the letter?
He's already sent the letter. It's already sent.
Oh shit.
Locked in. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. Sure.
That can happen.
Nothing bad can happen. It's fine. They're not on the same side.
And if anything, if the, say, magistrates were to disappear on the way, well, you would automatically get off. Because, they have to complete the trial within a certain time.
1 second, my bell's going.
Should we take a 2-minute break?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We can.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah, I'll put us on the BRB screen. All right, we're back, and we're not continuing that because that's gonna only upset everyone here because I think all of us have to deal with this in one way or another. So, okay, so what's the party up to now? You're gonna go talk to the champion about hosting this trial?
Yeah, I guess we have to talk to the champion.
Be our priority. We're in his good books. He enjoyed the beauty contest.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got him a whole bunch of information.
Yeah.
And we've got 6 weeks.
Specifically, Sinan, you made him tell us how much we couldn't pull through, and he was impressed.
Yeah, that's true. I did say that. Damn it.
How dare you use my words against me,
How
the
dare,
DM?
how dare you remember the canonical events of this campaign and recite them to me when I've slightly forgotten them and they're inconvenient now? Okay, so you are approaching the tent of the champion. You see his usual guards there. They don't try and stop you at all because you're familiar to them. And you can see the champion on the other side of his desk, this time reading a large tome.
Oh, okay.
You got this, bud.
Okay. Okay.
He looks up, he sort of smiles. Ah, my friends, how are you?
Good?
Yeah?
You?
Well, I'm just reading this old tome, something from the monastery. It's not important. He sort of closes
Right.
it, and all of you can see the text, like the tome of like obscure summoning.
Oh.
Okay. I like the directness of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Priests and paladins and clerics of Tempus are not exactly subtle.
Yeah. So, funny story.
Okay.
So we had I had a bit of legal trouble.
Okay.
I was saving Angra's life and may have allegedly done a fire. And we've been kind of pursued by some magistrates,
Okay.
maybe trying to kill us.
Sure.
So we went to the lawyer.
Oh, Horace. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, of Horace and Horace.
Yeah.
And we got him to write a letter to say that just to get it over with, we will have a trial just to pay a fine. Didn't realize until after he sent it that he did give away the location of the camp to the people in what's the place called?
Oh, it doesn't specifically matter at this point, but yeah, we'll just assume you've remembered the name of the place.
Yeah.
It's Rafandus. Rafandus is where you sent it to.
Yeah, that's not part of the people that you're fighting.
No, they're not. But it's funny. I've always wondered what it would be like to kill a halfling lawyer, and I think I might find out.
Okay, could you kill him?
After
I guess
the trial.
after we have the trial.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like his law degree in
Agricultural law.
agriculture is
Yeah.
also phony. Can't help but have those feelings.
University of the Islands.
Yeah.
Even his agriculture, anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking remote law degree, but before the invention of the internet.
He has to write letters with his
Yeah.
Okay. So he takes a minute to just sort of take it in. And he's just like, okay, well, I suppose technically we could bribe the magistrate not to tell anyone where the camp is, or catch up with the messenger and then maybe have the lawyer rewrite the letter so you meet on neutral ground and not here.
That might be smart.
I think that's better.
He sort of walks up to his guard. He says, all right, horse, catch the messenger, bring him back, make the lawyer rewrite the letter, meet on neutral ground, probably on one of the towns by the lake, and then also whip the lawyer, flog him, 20 times.
You're very flog happy recently.
It's really because of the breakdown in discipline because of all of the drinking.
And to be fair, if he mentions crimes against humanity again, I'm gonna flog him.
Yeah, everyone knows that's not applicable against an individual.
Yeah, and also
No.
because he's a halfling, he's not human, not part of humanity. Job done.
Well,
Literally not human.
well, that's not what you know. Anyway, look, I'm glad you told me because now we can fix it, and you can have the trial away from the camp in a town by the lake, and we can flog the lawyer for his mistake, so that he doesn't make the mistake. And maybe that'll make him better at your trial because he'll remember being flogged for making such a simple mistake.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna have this in fantasy Switzerland then.
Oh, town
By the lakes.
Yeah. Yeah, somewhere that is not this specific military camp. So you'll be. How long is the trial going to take? Did he say?
He said it was in 2 weeks, right?
No, in 6
So
weeks.
it's in 6 weeks, and it's going to
In
last
6 weeks,
like
yeah.
several weeks.
I guess I'll have to do
Sure,
without
he's
you. For a while.
exaggerating.
I have to do without you for a while then, unless you plead guilty. But then, judging from what you've described, you would then be executed immediately. So, doesn't seem like a viable option.
Well, it was either this or killing a whole bunch of magistrates, etc. Those seem to be the options on the table at the time.
Probably best not to kill magistrates and such.
But once this is done, we'll be even more free to help you.
Well, that's fine. You've got 6 weeks to help me out still. And, I'll do... Well, I had something in mind for you, but now I can't send you to it because you need to be back for the trial, so...
Just more than 6 weeks.
You're gonna send us away for 7 weeks. Damn.
Yeah, exactly 7 weeks. But, well, we had other stuff to do before then anyway, so we can get you doing that, and then, And plus, we're waiting for that intel to be checked out. Because, your friend Tiberius...
How's that going?
Well, we just sent the people out. It'll be a good day before we get any confirmation on some of it.
This immediately the tone of this is now like we're interns. It's like, we'll get you doing this and this and this.
You're interning at the guerrilla warfare camp now.
Yeah.
Can you do a tea run?
Yeah. But I'm glad you've...
Yeah, they call me Chai Guevara.
I fucking hate how much I like that. Okay. Oh no. Okay. You've but I'm glad you're dealing with your legal troubles, and will hopefully be found not guilty, or at least a mistrial.
I'm sure it will be a mistrial.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something's gonna happen though.
It's gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, good luck with that.
All right.
But yeah,
Bye.
I haven't got any updates for you on that intel, so I'm back in a day or so. But
one more question.
yes.
How far away from the camp would you want us to be if we were to summon a demon?
The room is just eerily silent now, as if he's dumbfounded at the nature of the question. It's like, I don't want you doing that at all, Brother Angriff. Did you know they're summoning demons?
It's just
It's a long
Jamobbly.
fucking story.
What demon devil thing are you summoning?
He's a negotiator. He's good. He's a nice guy. He likes jam.
Jamobbly.
Jamobbly.
Oh,
Elfin's tight with Jamobbly.
Yeah.
he looks tense.
Oh yeah, did you not know? Part warlock.
I don't. I try not to judge people based on their beliefs or on the pacts they make with beings. I assumed it was some sort of water-based sea monster thing that she'd done a deal with, being from an island of sorts.
No, it's a jam man.
It's a jam man, but the jam man doesn't condemn the correct things. What?
quick, make up an arbitrary list of things.
Yeah, quickly, we're gonna have to make a list of things he doesn't condemn.
He doesn't condemn hummus.
He didn't He didn't condemn Bob Dylan.
He did. He didn't bow.
He's a
he
villain
didn't,
named Bob in this universe.
he didn't bow at the Temple of Mars at the correct angle. Like,
It's a Chairman Mao-style chariot.
yeah. You do remember that the champion does sleep in a racing chariot bed.
Oh yeah.
Canonically does sleep in a racing chariot bed.
Yeah.
He's like, look, just keep it outside of the campgrounds and don't let him into the campgrounds. I don't want to see Jamobbly. If I see Jamobbly, I will have to immediately engage him in combat. Really
I see Jamobbly, I'm going to have a heart attack.
Yeah. If I see Jamobbly, I will chase him and start screaming incoherent gibberish at him.
The champion just being a free parking sign and just having
And I thought you were cool.
Yeah, but look, like, really, Angrif should also be fighting Jamobbly. Is he?
Again, it's a long fucking story.
I mean, maybe he's a nice guy. I don't know. I've heard a lot of really horrible things about him in the scrolls and from the newsreader.
Yeah, newsreaders really got it out for him for some reason.
I will say, I know demons are bad, but we've met like 3 demons. They're all surprisingly chill.
Yeah, they've all been lovely.
He looks like he's about to have like a stroke. He genuinely looks like he's like struggling to reconcile all of this information, and he just kind of goes, "I'm gonna just do it outside of the camp, and please don't bring it up again."
That's what I keep saying.
Okay. Sounds like a conversation I've had with my parents.
He
The
turns.
time you bring up Lennon at the dinner table, they're like, okay.
He turns in return. He turns and sort of goes back to his desk and reopens his tome. And he's just sort of reading through it. He's not gonna like.
Okay.
He's not. He doesn't have like. He doesn't seem to have a lower opinion of you. He just seems to have realized there's a lot more compromise to your adventures than happened on his.
He's like, why can't you make a pact with Cthulhu like all the normal
Yeah, like all
warlocks?
the normal warlocks. There's a cool warlocks. Yeah, you know, better than Jamobbly.
Okay, should we get some jam then? Do we need to make jam or just get jam?
If you
After
if
all
you
the
can't
rules.
make jam, store bought, it's fine.
What are the rules? Only Elfin knows.
Yeah, store bought is fine. She said.
I don't know if you're joking or if that was true.
I mean,
Let's go to Barry's.
oh wait, Angrif doesn't have religion knowledge because he's not. He's
I think I've got -1.
yeah. Probably wouldn't rely on Angrif for this one.
I mean, I've got
Yeah.
+2. I can roll.
I've been. I've been.
I rolled a 15.
Okay, yeah. You would summon him. You know how to summon him, and it does. It store bought is fine. He doesn't judge
Yeah, it's the like intention. Not,
as long as
not
as long
what
as
the
it's
thing
as
is.
long as it's good. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I've been watching Archer again recently, and there's the bit where Ray's like, you know, my church didn't really do the New Testament, with the one with Jesus Christ in it. I mean, I take your word for it, but like,
Did that show finish at some point?
yeah.
I think it did, didn't
yeah,
it?
It did, yeah.
It's like 14 seasons or something.
Yeah, which
I dropped off when they were doing the parallel stories thing.
yeah,
and
the
different-
coma stories, which were fine, but they
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have just let Archer die after that. But anyway,
Yeah.
they're gonna save this for another thing. Okay, so are you going to the sort of Barry's requisition stall?
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, you spot the Barry in his bald
Hey, Barry.
glory with his name tag with the number 1247.
There's a lot of you guys, huh?
Yeah, we're expanding. Even
Oh.
setting up in military camps.
Isn't it quite difficult
like
to
a lo-
establish a presence in a military camp?
Yeah, but
Like the fucking co-op in the middle of Glastonbury.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's too competing.
I did not know
Barry.
that was a thing, and I'm shocked.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I last went in like 2018 or something, and that it's just a big fuck off co-op in the middle somewhere.
Oh my god.
It's like the population of a city there anyway, so you'd have to have some kind of infrastructure around it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's the only place in Britain that's got infrastructure.
Yeah. That's why they hate it so much, because it has infrastructure. It doesn't,
Yeah.
That was the real crime. Okay, so the Barry standing at his like requisition store was like, so what can I get you all?
I'd like some of your finest jam.
The
please.
finest jam. Okay.
Well, I'll tell the turn to Elfin. How good does the jam have to be?
Well, I mean,
Some strawberry jam, some apricot jam, some cherry jam,
like how
apple and raspberry jam.
I mean,
I feel
just
like-
don't get the really cheap stuff. Really,
These are from
he's a
our
dude.
Barry's finest line.
Barry's finest.
Yeah, yeah. One of
Barry's
the
finest.
Barrys makes them himself.
Oh. Can I get some cherry jam, please?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, get a Barry's finest cherry jam. It's like 5 silver for the cherry jam.
Cool. I'll hand over 5 silver.
Very good. Anything else?
Anyone else want anything? While we're at the shop, I'm just going to the shop. Anyone want anything?
Yeah, so just to be
Twix.
Twix.
Can I get a Magnum?
Yeah, Barry's finest jewel chocolate biscuit bar. Get Magnum. Cast cold on this thing and gives it to you.
I get a Magnum and the Monster Energy or something. Let's go.
Now, of course,
It's just like part of a monster.
now, of course, the Champion of Tempus has decreed that there's to be no alcohol consumption in the camp. That being said, maybe I could look in the back and find something if you wanted some alcohol to consume.
I'm okay for now. Art, are you up thirsty?
Have you got any of those like tins of like passion fruit margarita that they sell?
Like, maybe not a tin, but like a kind of a sort of ampule, a large glass ampule of it.
Hey, that sounds grand.
Yeah, can even chill it too.
I don't have ID.
Snaps his finger and it chills. It's like, oh, don't worry, it doesn't. I don't need the ID.
Oh, okay.
You'd hope if you're at a military camp that you're over 18.
Yeah, the Champion of Tempus would never use child soldiers. He said, as the like halflings march by in their little pikeman uniform. You might use very small soldiers, but they're not children, and they're very clear about that if you ever accuse them of such.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, some of us hadn't seen halflings before we came here.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Alright, take it easy.
Hey, that was
I feel
weirdly
like
racist,
Barry 63 from the islands strikes again.
Okay, I want to see how like a clearing in the woods to like the west of here or something.
Yeah. You walk out for about 20-ish minutes past the like gate they have, or sort of checkpoint they have at the western edge of the camp, and you do find a little clearing with a river sort of flowing through it. It's a stream more than a river,
cute.
but yeah. Sun's kind of filtering through. It's the like late afternoon now. It's prime summoning hours.
Elfin, how do we do this?
Wouldn't that be like the witching hour, surely?
Yes, it would be, but in the absence of that, golden hour is pretty good. It will
It's more romantic.
It will look the best in the cutscene. It's the
Before Instagram was invented, everyone used to like the witching hour, and now it's all about golden hour.
Yeah.
These days. How do we do this, Elfin? I just present the jam and put it in the middle of the field and sort of look at her. If he turns up now, without me trying anything, I'll be very, very shocked.
Yeah. Elfin might want to look up how to summon the assistance or guidance of Jamobily real quick.
You need to send an email to @Jamobbly Corbin.
Yeah,
Jumbly Crumbly is his app for some reason.
Yeah.
A voice rings out from the forest. Name and CLP.
Yeah. This very, very round tomato-looking man has come and started screaming at you for some reason. The radioactive tomato man of the forest. It's still insane that guy's an MP. I can't fucking cope with it.
There'll be a reshuffle in the next few weeks.
He's going to replace Rachel Reeves somehow.
He might.
The fucking turtle guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy as well. They all do look like objects and animals. It's very strange that Labour has...
Who's the turtle guy?
Oh, no, I mean specifically the turtle guy from 2002 spy thriller Master of Disguise.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remind us of what the fuck that is, I think.
I'm reminding you all right the fuck now.
I'm gonna get on my phone to look at this then. But yeah. Elfin, you do know that there's a ritual to summon Jamobbly, and you'll have to roll, I guess, a charisma check to see if you can summon Jamobbly. Huh. That does look like a member of the Labour cabinet. If actually...
Yeah, that's Pat McFadden.
That's Pat McFadden, yeah. That's bang on Pat McFadden. Well, not quite, but yeah, pretty much Pat McFadden right there.
Yeah, tell me that he's not.
Yeah.
Why does he have a beak?
Well, Pat McFadden does.
Turtle.
I assume this was based on then obscure Labour backbencher Pat McFadden. For some fucking reason.
A horrifying vision.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking hell. It's just...
Fun little tidbit from that movie, by the way. Dana Carvey, who is the guy dressed up like the turtle guy, took part in a prayer circle after 9/11 had just happened, wearing that outfit.
What?
I mean, that's maximum respect. What else do you call that, really?
I mean, and you never forgot, so really...
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, now we will never forget 9/11.
Yeah. Prayers up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've been on an absolute kick of saying prayers up to people after that Chris what's-his-face tribute to the actor, the Indian... Native American guy who was murdered in that homophobic attack, and then Chris Thingamajig went, "Oh, lovely guy to work with. Prayers up," and that was his entire tribute.
I mean,
so I've been like fully on a kick of saying prayers up to my friends, just any minor convenience.
Yeah.
Prayers up.
Oh no. Okay. So, Elfin, what did you roll for your charisma check? Or wisdom? Wait, is it wisdom or charisma that's the main thing for you?
Well, it'd be... They're both +3, but...
Okay, yeah. Well, whatever then. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
I had a dark one sign luck, so it's 17.
Okay. So you draw a rune around the jam in a circle. Little flames start to appear, and then suddenly before you is this kind of elderly, red-skinned looking devil in a sort of geography teacher's suit, standing before you. Gives you a warm smile. It's like, I've been summoned? What's happening?
Yeah, you said you were going to make a new party like 6 months ago. What's going on with that?
I like how I'm answering this month. I'm telling you, the rumor is this month. Anyway,
Okay.
That is the legit rumor I've heard. So
Just as soon as we've got this sent, just fistful and still.
yeah, exactly.
The real scoops always come on the D&D live stream.
If that turns out to be fucking right as well, and I've said it. I mean,
We're gonna have like FT journalists like watching this D&D stream.
yeah, I mean, like most of the journalists who follow me work for the fucking Daily Star. So anyway, so let's not tempt fate too much. But yeah, so what have you summoned me for? I was actually just making some jam myself, and this is very lovely. Thank you. He holds the jam up, sort of pockets it.
You're incredibly welcome, Jamobbly.
So what do you
I'm
mean?
a friend of Elfin's.
Hmm.
And I'm as you might see, I'm made of wood, and I'm not supposed to be. So I was wondering.
He kind of like puts on a pair of glasses and sort of examines you. He's like, yeah, I can see that you're made of wood. Very odd. Yeah.
It is odd. Thank you for acknowledging it. The thing is, I want to solve this issue with a djinn.
Okay.
And I kind of promised him that I would free him with a third wish.
Okay.
So, but one of the wishes I need to bring my body here. Now, I don't know where my body is, but I'm assuming that you would have the power to get my body from wherever it is over here. And then I would be able to free the genie. Even if I owe you a favor.
What? I don't know that I could bring it over here, but I could almost certainly find it.
Could you? That'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
What would I have to do in return?
He thinks for a second. He's like, well, let's call it an unspecified favor for now.
Is that good?
He sort of snaps his fingers, fire reveals a contract. It's basically a permanent obligation. A one-time permanent obligation.
I wish that we brought our lawyer here.
Yeah, do you think he
Can I let him take a look?
No, you can read the contract. It's not like I'm not asking for your soul or anything, or to fight in the unending wars or anything. Just a favor on the material plane.
How
feel
big
like
would this be?
Owing Jamobbly a favor.
Yeah,
It's like the most like, yeah, absolutely, mate. Like, whatever you want.
In real life, I would be down for this immediately. But like,
Yeah, it's like one session of canvassing and his.
yeah, that's it. You just have to knock doors for him, and that's it.
Can you read out for me the contract, please?
Yeah, he can, but he basically
Just the relevant bit.
The key point is one obligation is owed to Jamobbly the Annihilator on the material plane. The obligation can only take place within the material plane, and it can't be likely to result in the death of the person who owes the favor, the obligation.
Well, that sounds fine.
Yeah. Can't be likely to. It could, but it can't be likely to.
Anything could kill you. You could get killed crossing the street, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm going to look to Elfin just for confirmation she knows him well. Is this cool? Should I do this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a good idea?
He seems chill, right? You're chill?
Yeah, people say so. Well, some people.
And if you're not going to have proofs, I'm not going to ask you.
Thank you for preventing me from having to answer.
No worries. Okay, I sign.
I understand. He's a paladin. I get it.
Yeah, I'm signing. Signing the infernal contract. I'm writing down in my notes. I owe Jamobbly a favor.
The fire streaks behind your quill as you're signing it, and then the contract engulfed in flame. Like, okay. Snaps his finger and produces a map, and it shows you the location of the body.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I already knew where it was.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah.
Can I keep this map?
Of course. That's why I'm summoning it to give to you.
Okay.
You may not like where the body is being kept.
Oh, well. There was never going to be a version of this story where it was easy.
Yeah, it's being kept in a territory of the Nihai currently held by a mad emir.
Okay.
Someone you might have history with? Who knows?
Okay. How far is it from here? Very, very far?
Nihai? Probably talking about months of travel.
We've got a sex dimension we can go through, it's fine.
Yeah? Sex dimension?
I hate the sex dimension.
Jamobbly, I don't think you should go to the sex dimension just for our mental health.
I wasn't planning to go. I was just, who would set up such a? You know what? It's probably someone from the Feywild. I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I appreciate you're a man of principle, Jamobbly.
It's like, well, if that's everything, and no one else wants to do any deals or sell souls or exchange souls for anything, I'm away.
Do you want to play tennis?
Hmm?
Do you want a game of tennis?
It's a game of tennis. He snaps his finger.
Yeah, you seem like you play.
Produces a tennis court for you to have a game of tennis on.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is like challenging him to a rock off, but it's like
Yeah.
He can't refuse
What
any.
is going on?
I'll roll an athletics check.
Yeah, roll an athletics check
Yeah.
against the literal archdevil. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, it was only a 10.
Yeah, he rolled a natural
Why
19, but with all the benefits of being an archdevil, you can imagine what that adds up to eventually. So yeah, he pretty much trounces you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like gloat or
I've never
anything.
played.
He's just like, yeah, it's just, I was happy to teach
I've
you
actually never played tennis.
in real life,
No, in
as
the
well
game.
as in the game.
Yeah. I don't think I actually ever have played tennis.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
don't have tennis skill.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite sport that I've ever played. All right. Okay.
one of the sports I got bullied in least in PE, so that puts it up in my favour.
Okay, so you have successfully played tennis against Jomobili, lost, and he disappears. Smell of brimstone left behind.
You successfully lost against Jomobili at tennis.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll take that off in the skill tree segment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So now, Barb, you have a map pointing to a region of Nihai that you might be vaguely familiar with. You might not be. A mountainous region. It's labelled as a particularly mountainous region where a mad prince has taken up and have rebelled against possibly his father.
Okay.
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Yeah. That was hardly for. That was like, I know writers who use subtext in their cowards. That was what that
Just
was.
not foreshadowing, for giant titling.
Yeah, like
Like,
you may as well have had the fucking Star Wars opening crawl happen there. Like, all right. Okay. Having successfully communed with Jomobili, it is now evening in the forest.
I'm gonna bed.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You will.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any
Sounds like
evening business they wish
She
to
doesn't need
conduct?
to sleep.
Yeah. Does anyone need to have any evening business they wish to conduct?
I suppose not.
Just bonding with my teammates, you know?
Yeah. You spot.
Oh, what's his face is in our camp?
Yeah, Tiberius.
Tiberius.
Yeah, you spot him flirting with one of the women soldiers outside your thing. But he's clearly way too drunk to sustain the flirting. So he's leaning really heavily on a stick. He's like, oh no.
Hey, do I come here often?
Yeah.
Do you come here often?
Yeah. He's like, I won the beauty pageant.
If I had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me?
Yeah, that's. It's just the worst attempt. He's clearly way too drunk for this. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, it's my new friends. He sort of greets you. Like, where have you been all day? I've been drinking pretty much since I woke up.
Oh, we had to deal with lawyers and contracts and all that stuff. It was very administrative.
Crooks, if you ask me.
I mean,
I don't
they
think
did
ours
the
is
best
competent
job.
enough to be a crook.
Yeah. He's a yawn. He's the big yawn. The big drunk yawn.
What do you know about the law, Tiberius?
The law?
Yeah.
Well, I was in that cage for a while, so I don't think I'm the person to ask, really. Plus, I don't know if sovereignty law extends out here.
Oh.
Well, not in this camp, anyway. Obviously, it extends out here. That's kind of the whole problem.
We could argue that their law that we're dealing with doesn't extend out here because we're not there anymore.
Right, no, but...
Is that how it works?
But you've invited
I
them
don't think
over,
that-
basically, to conduct
Yeah.
a trial, so you've effectively pre-submitted to it.
No, we're just going to write "No You" on a big piece of paper and hand it over.
I don't know about law. I know a lot about stabbing people in the neck. I know a lot about apparently getting captured. I know a lot about having slaves that I was planning to sell as my spoils from the war and them all dying from a plague. But, that's just bad
I'd
luck.
chill out about that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say that too
I'm not
loudly.
planning to repeat that one. It was just the thing done at the time. 4 weeks ago when
What,
I was in the army.
You didn't know any better.
Yeah. There's not many There's not many ways for an orc to make a lot of money in the sovereignty.
Therefore, it's justified to own slaves.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can't get a decent job because of all the slaves.
Yeah, that's it. They're
not competed.
All these slaves coming over here.
That was my chief's argument. Too many slaves had to create jobs, and then he tried to reform the jobs system, and then all the nobles got really angry because they couldn't have slaves.
We bring them over here by force.
Yeah.
We're sort of backwards walking into Black Reconstruction here.
Yeah, the weirdest part was when he was explaining that there were too many slaves, he was having slaves paint his villa. That was the weirdest part of the whole thing.
Probably nothing to read into that.
Yeah, there's nothing to think about.
I know that we just hang out with a devil, but this is the most evil thing I've heard the entire.
Yeah, I don't own slaves anymore.
Good.
I'm not
Good for
lying.
you.
I drifted off for a second and tuned back in on this conversation, and I'm just got a bit of a whiplash here.
Yeah. Look, I was a sovereignty soldier 4 weeks ago. What do you expect? It's going to take time for me to atone for my mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're down for your redemption arc, but
Yeah. Just don't do it again.
He sort of collapses onto his cot that he has to sleep in.
Oh, I forgot he was staying with us.
Yeah, he's staying with you. This extremely drunk half orc is just snoring loudly in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Zara Sultana has resigned from the Labour Party.
Oh what?
Oh,
Good. What?
Zara Sultana has resigned from the Labour Party.
News.
you get your
shit.
here first, lads. Come on.
Yeah, defecting.
Took our time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is this new party stuff popping up then?
Well, as I
Yeah,
fucking
look-
joked about it on fucking. Alright. That's what's happening. See, this
Oh
is.
yeah, Jeremy Corbyn and I will co-lead the founding of a new party.
Oh. Well, there you go, everyone. You would have known before, you see, if you'd watched the. What the fuck has happened on this stream?
Breaking news.
What the fuck happened on this stream? I can't believe that is literally insane. What the fuck happened?
Everybody say your dreams.
Yeah,
We've got a genie on the
everyone
stream.
say it. Apparently I grant wishes.
Global warming's over.
The late of Apollo.
I've done it again.
I'm slightly taller.
Unfortunately, I can't grant myself any wishes. That's the one problem with being a genie. Well, what can you... Fucking hell, what the fuck happened? That is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me on stream since the Queen died while I was on stream. That was one of the weirdest things.
That's fucking nuts. Ugh.
I've done it again. See, I already laved David Mensa being an Israeli spokesperson. Now I laved something good? Is this what it's like?
Only learn to use your powers not for evil.
Look. I've always said that I would only use my powers for good, but unfortunately sometimes what's good isn't always funny. And that's the problem, everyone. And that's so sorry, sometimes it be like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So Tiberius has collapsed into his cot. He's snoring loudly. What are you? You're all going to sleep as well. So you will wake up the next day, and you hear Tiberius outside, just sort of being, "I couldn't trouble you for some water, could I?" He sort of takes this carafe of water from a mill house and just chugs the entire water. And it is now the next day, and you can hear sort of the general business of the camp, and you do hear Horace getting flogged. For almost
Can I walk on by?
yeah, you spot him getting
And
flogged.
listen, when this new party does get into power, the lawyers will be flogged.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. The new platform, flogging lawyers.
1 point party platform.
Yeah, we're gonna flog all the lawyers. Agricultural lawyers especially. They're getting it the
Can
first
you
hand.
imagine a world where we flogged lawyers?
Okay, but your lawyer's being flogged, but he doesn't know you had anything to do with it.
Dream scenario.
Yeah. And
No,
yeah.
you want him to know it was you.
Yeah. Want him to know. Okay, it's the morning. The information should be with the Champion of Tempus if you wish to speak to him. Or you can generally fuck around in the camp for a bit. He'd probably understand if you went to get some camp perpetual soup and chatted shit with some soldiers. Or
What's camp about it?
I've been wanting to say that all the time. Just gay ass soup.
Yeah. The gay soup alive. They've enchanted it so it looks like the pride flag.
It's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is the soup that makes you gay.
Oh no.
The movie's just called Gay, like it's called Old.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the party up to in the morning? Does anyone want to address anything that's happened over the past little while with each other? Does anyone want to make plans or consult on plans before you get on with your day properly?
My
We do a
plans
check-in
are all
with each other?
sorted. Yeah. No, we could check in. We could do a little group therapy.
Yeah. How are you?
All of us. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, got
Good.
plans coming together. I
Good.
mean, it's going to be a while, but we got making progress. Things are going to happen. I'm excited. Doing Anger's Crest. Always happy to do things for a friend. Elfin's helping me out. I still don't know her backstory, but she's a good friend.
One of these
Yeah,
days we'll get more than 5 words out of her.
Angrith, you feel like your quest is going well? You're sorting your shit? You're.
We're all learning a lot.
About each other and
Turning
ourselves.
to everyone mid-adventure being like, so do you guys think the adventure's going well?
It's the kind of thing that's not...
That's my favourite part in the Two Towers.
Turning to the 3 other adventurers in my party and being like, do you like me?
Tiberius sort of
Would you adventure with me if I was a worm?
Tiberius walks in, he still has some of the carafe water, he pours it out in his hand and starts washing his face. He's like, morning all. Ugh. How are you all? How are you all doing? Are you busy today? I expect they'll have checked all that intel I gave to the champion. And then I might be...
I
So we were
suspect
just
we will
checking
have...
in.
Yeah. I suspect we'll have
just checking in
probably
with
some
each other,
adventuring
sorry.
later, but...
Oh, sorry,
Come
I'm
sit with
I'm
us.
intruding. I'm sorry.
No, wait, you join the circle.
Okay.
I reach out to hold his and Anger's hand.
Tiberius looks kind of unhappy about this, but sits down. Sorry, I'm a little hungover.
Sorry about to say homophobic then.
No, that I'm fine with. It's the alcohol that was the problem.
Yeah.
You need to bring in the
You need
soup
to have some of that soup.
Well, so I was curious, what are a bunch of islanders doing out here? Well, some of you are islanders, but all of you seem like you came from an island of some sort. Well, except for the construct.
We're all here by way of an island.
And no island.
The real island was the friends we made along the way.
It's true.
We were like a archipelago, but now we're a single landmass.
Do you want to form a new party?
Form a new party. We're gonna co-lead a party with Jamobbly, which is such a weird pull, by the way, that we had Jamobbly appear in the fucking episode when this happened. What the fuck?
We need a Zara Sultana demon now.
Does Zara Sultana watch the stream? What's going on?
We're
never denied
rebranding
it.
from
Jeremy, they're on to
no
us.
longer Team Normal. We're the Peace and Justice Party.
Yeah. Oh. Let's wait for the name to drop then, because I'm.
I saw someone said that apparently that one of the considerations was assemble and like
ass party. I like it. I like the ass party. Let's do it.
exactly.
Let's fucking do it. I can't wait for the
As long
polling.
as the symbol's just an ass.
Yeah.
Like, let's
you know, like how the Ashfield Independence symbol is hands. There should be like a thick ass.
Yeah.
Like, and then
It's like when you have like folk in like right-wing folk in Edinburgh who are really angry about the low emission zones. They do it like go on their protests and they have signs that say "Les out."
Oh,
Don't ask me twice.
didn't know they were like that, huh? Oh no.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Be homophobic or pro-gay, depending on how you take it.
Yeah.
They were counter-demoing Pride in Edinburgh the other week with those signs.
Oh, perfect. Fucking perfect. At least it's better than what happens in like at Vilnius Pride, where like members of parliament come and throw rocks at it, which is
Gee.
yeah. Okay. Like there are like multiple members of parliament in Lithuania who've been arrested for throwing rocks at Pride, and it's like
I mean, to be honest, still sounds better than London Pride.
I can't say I've been so.
I feel like Croatia's getting towards regular UK prides now, because last I was talking to a Trotskyist about it, saying that their version of like the SWP is doing the picketing outside the front of Pride.
Oh, beautiful.
As is every Pride in the UK, so
Beautiful.
nature is healing.
Yeah, that's how you know you're becoming a normal society. Is capital N normal, of course, not you know.
When you've got the JP Morgan love and business strategy float.
Oh, my company does this stuff. And
Elbit Systems,
and it's not
Brian.
like a particularly bad company as such, but it is mortally like embarrassing. Like because like I have colleagues who are like, why aren't you in the LGBTQ plus thing that we have at the company? And I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit about the corporate version of this, you know, that's nothing to do with me, man. I show up, I get paid, and I go home. I don't want to fucking engage in this at work, you know.
Frankly, you're lucky I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, like the only reason I'm talking to you is because you were my mentor when I first joined the company. Otherwise, I would not entertain this conversation at all.
Goodbye, this could have been an email.
Yeah. I was not like that about it, because obviously I have to be at work. But, you know, I feel like they understood not to ask me about this again. Anyway, yeah, you're all sitting with Tiberius. Tiberius looks like he's having one of those hangovers where he's either gonna need to eat a lot of stuff or he's gonna throw up like really soon. He's having one of those hangovers. Like, I think.
Will we drop him by the gay soup on the way to
The gay soup sounds good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you drop him off by the sort of general communal eating area at the center of the camp, and then you walk through to the champion, who again is reading from this same tome, has a sort of smaller book that he's using to take
Exact
notes.
same page.
Yeah, he's barely made any progress.
Read it 5 times.
No, he's on a different page now. He doesn't even bother closing it now, because you get the sense that he closes it when he's like, he thinks there's someone he can't trust, sort of in the tent with him. But now he's just sort of relaxed around you a bit more, and you can see that there is a drawing of like a heavily armored figure coming out of a summoning circle.
Oh.
He's like,
Try to summon the god.
Oh, it's not a god. It's a sort of heroic spirit from the gods. An angel, I guess, is kind of a nicer way of putting it.
An
What
angel
do you
of
need an
death.
angel for?
Well, I was thinking, you know, we need to level the playing field here. And, like, you're great. You're all great. And you're very effective, apart from some of the acting, apparently, from what I heard. But in general, good. You got results. I'm not denying that. But
The reviews are great.
yeah, the review, 8 out of 10 job. I've said it before.
War Camp Monthly says 5
Yeah.
stars.
8 out of 10 job. I really do think
War Camp Monthly.
you did it. Yeah, it's just a newsreader walking around. They employ a newsreader reading out reviews. Like,
Oh, it's the same fucking guy.
Yeah, in my head, the newsreader is like Barry in this, where it's the same guy. He's got clones of himself out there doing the same job. So just in different. So he like pulls the money and shares it between himself, I guess, or they just keep their money.
Yeah, he's like an Officer Jenny character.
Yeah. Citizens of the camp. Like,
Citizens of the camp.
The good Champion of Tempus has decreed. Like you hear him bellowing in the distance about some new restriction on like illicit substance consumption or whatever that everyone's inevitably going to ignore. But one of these spirits is, you know, much more powerful than me. It's much more powerful than you, meaning no disrespect. Could possibly level the playing field if the sovereignty brings something unexpected or annoying or something like that.
The two sides of that coin, unexpected or annoying.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, frankly,
things
I've got no problem with this.
Yeah, so you know, and it would only take a little bit of magical power to sort of summon one of these. I mean, you know, the more magical power you put in, the more powerful the servant you get out, apparently. But you know,
what kind of servant is this?
Like a spirit. Like a
good spirit?
I mean,
I'll be back in a sec, actually.
Okay.
I think I need to get some antihistamines.
Alright, go for it.
Okay.
A good spirit. Yeah, I mean, like, because in my case, I guess, because of what Tempus is, I guess he would be a neutral spirit? Or they, I should say, would be a neutral spirit. They tend to reflect the summoner. And I don't...
So we shouldn't get involved in this, then?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would be the main summoner, so even if I were to sort of employ any of you, would any of you even be willing to participate in that? You know, that was, you know...
I'm up for anything, mate, but I just feel like if you're trying to get a moral compass thing, I feel like we've demonstrated some of our heads aren't screwed on quite tight.
Well, look, everyone
not
makes
lie.
mistakes.
I think it would be funny.
It would be funny, and that's enough of a reason to do anything.
Well, I mean...
We could create a spirit that would annoy the other side so much that they want to just give up.
A spirit that shows up, summons a desk, and just sits there awaiting their, like, discourse.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's Stephen Crowder.
Yep, that's who. Yep.
The Dominion sucks. Changed my mind. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
And we'll make Helfin join in because she's not raised any objections, so I feel like she's very impressionable right now.
But we could try and summon such a being, and it would probably, at least as long as we could command it, it could be helpful.
You say that like that's not a guarantee.
Well, it's complicated. I haven't read the whole book yet, you see. That's part of the problem.
Right.
So I don't really they would be bound to me, but only for a certain period until the task is complete. But then what task would I summon it for, is the question. And it has to be a reasonably finite task as well, because otherwise it just sort of would fail. If I said, like, you know, serve me until, you know, the end of the world, it wouldn't work. So it has to be a finite task that could be achievable.
What happens when does it just disappear, or does it just get a job?
It just returns to the heavens or wherever it came from.
Okay, right. So it's not just on Earth, just like...
Yeah, like my understanding is it's the spirit of an already dead person or hero or something.
Okay.
So I take it from this that there's no chance that the other side is going to concede anytime soon.
Well, they're not going to come negotiate anytime soon, but that's because we haven't really pressured them enough. We've only just started to pressure them. They're a little anxious, but we haven't put enough pressure on them. What we would need is either a big ticket military victory, which sort of gestures out at the camp. Let's be honest, unlikely to happen in a pitched battle, which is why we're not doing pitched battles. Or we would need major defectors. Maybe we could take a city off their hands. Maybe we could convince other people to join our side, boost our numbers, scare them a little bit.
Sabotage?
Sabotage, you know, poisoning their water, killing their magic users would be Killing their magic users would be a good one.
A follower of Tempus doing poisoning people's water supply. That doesn't sound very Tempusy.
Look,
You already lost the fight.
yeah, like this is.
Like, that's one of the big no-nos.
Look, we just want them.
Maybe that's why you can't summon the guy.
Well, yeah, I was explaining to the party earlier when you were zoned out that I'm looking up summoning magic to summon a sort of heroic spirit to assist in the.
Play is over.
I was just like almost sneezing that whole time.
Yeah.
Just T-posed in the middle of the...
Yeah, Anger like glitched through the floor, then came back through the ceiling. That's what happened.
It's just reminded me of one of my favourite ever bugs that I've seen in a game was in Dragon Age Origins, where I can't remember what his name is. And one of your companions, his head just like expands and then rotates towards the camera.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Just doing that for like 2 minutes.
Oh,
He does this.
Yeah, I need to find the centrist piss boiler image. Hold on. I need to find it for like unrelated reasons. Hold on. From me, centrist piss boiler will probably bring it up.
Oh, do you know what? If Reeves loses her job and Starmer gets knifed in the back, like it's going to be a real fucking posters holiday for the next few days.
So excited, you know. I'm so excited for like the posters holiday when these bastards.
I've been burned so many times. Like I've been thinking Starmer's going to leave since that fucking by-election in
Hartlepool.
Was it like?
Yeah,
Well, apparently almost did.
Yeah, the change the things that need changing by-election, as you might recall, remember it as.
Yeah, and there's been so many moments since then. It's been years, and like whatever.
Okay, I've done my post. I've done my obligatory post about it. I'm happy now. Sorry, I just had like this sudden like brainworm where I was like, I need to do this really quickly. Okay, yeah, but we're planning to. The book I'm reading is, you know, it's a summoning book, and we're trying to. I think we can summon a heroic spirit who would at least be able to tilt some of this in our favor. Maybe scare them some more. Maybe kill a bunch of their soldiers. Maybe if they're on patrol or something. Basically someone to help you do what you're doing, or free you up to go do other things that could help. Because while I think the soldiers we have are very competent and very good at what we're currently doing, fighting an enemy head on, and I love the halflings, they're very passionate about being pikemen. But they're not terrifying the enemy, are they?
Yeah.
We can help summon whatever the thing this is.
Yeah, I need people who have abilities to command magic to help me. So the DM note, the way this would mechanically work is the higher spell slot you put up, the more powerful the servant he summons will be.
Okay. Well,
and I need to still finish off reading the text so that we definitely don't mess this up and summon, you know, an asshole or, you know, a devil or, you know, again. I mean, I'm glad you didn't do it in the camp, and I'm happy you respected that at least. Did you get what you wanted from the devil, by the way?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it could have. I guess it could have gone more, but you know, did pretty well.
Okay,
it was nice.
Yeah, he shafted me at tennis.
Well, it happens.
I can put forward a level 5 spell slot.
Well,
or
okay,
yeah.
What spell slot are you all putting forward potentially for this later tonight?
Level 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a third.
Okay. What does he have to hand? Probably something quite. I imagine he has something quite good, given what happened. What's his maximum spell slot?
And I'll be there for moral support.
Yeah, you're not a magic person, so it's okay. What am I looking for? Spellcaster. Fourth. He's only.
We briefly shift to Arcane Trickster just for this one.
His maximum is a 4, so that is. Okay. All right. Interesting. I'll see if there's. I'll think about if anyone else is joining this ritual later on as well. But yeah, okay.
Does Tiberius have magic?
Tiberius is a plain soldier. He is just like a legionary who's been who's been captured and is very drunk and,
Right.
is-
Not a wild magic barbarian.
No. Okay, so the champion sort of has this moment where he remembers what you're here for. It's the intelligence, right? He sort of moves the book over and gets a bunch of like parchment. It's like, well, everything Tiberius told us checked out, pretty much. As much as he is a slaving bastard, he's an honest slaving bastard when he wanted to defect.
Yeah, he says he won't do that anymore.
Well, judging from the record of generally decent conduct since then, we'll have to keep an eye on him. Maybe he could even be useful in the army. But
he does seem happier here. I mean, I didn't see him before, but he seems pretty happy.
Yeah, well, he's mostly engaging in acts with the other soldiers.
As long as those acts aren't slavery.
It's not slavery, but it's ill-disciplined.
I think sometimes it's quite disciplined.
Depends on... Anyway. He sort of realizes that his ex, essentially. So he sort of like moves swiftly on. Look, it's not important, and it's, the exact kind of jackassery you would expect from a member of the Sovereignty Army when they're not in the Sovereignty Army, so can't really blame him. But my point is the information checks out, so we can more or less just sort of, I guess, trust Tiberius reasonably, and that means that we have a whole bunch of information to act on that, if you're willing to help, still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
It really
Let's kill someone.
It really depends. Oh, okay. If you want to kill someone, then you can kill many someones for us. We have pretty decent confirmation that one of the camps he's highlighted is where their sort of upper class magic casting soldiers sleep. Their army is kind of stratified by class.
Right.
A caste system.
Yeah, a caste system, if you will.
The Snowpiercer Army division.
Yeah, this is where the Triarii are. No, it's it's kind of like that. But anyway, this is where they're sleeping, and their camp is lightly guarded, let's put it like that, sometimes. And so perhaps some sneaky and intrepid adventurers could go, light a fire that gets out of control, and kill all of them in their sleep.
I
Would
think we
this
can
add
do
to
that.
our crimes?
This would be a war crime, yeah, but
Yeah, that's different.
But to be clear, I have already pardoned you of those crimes.
Is that how that works?
Victory at any
guess-
cost.
yeah, I mean, I guess there's no overarching legal norms, but
There's no ICC, there's no ICJ, we might as well.
Yeah,
go
like,
to it.
what are they going to do? Charge me as an individual for this, as your commanding officer? Please.
We were just following orders, to be fair, so...
This is getting extraordinarily dark.
Yes.
Like, even for this.
Even for this D&D campaign, this is getting really...
I mean, listen, they're an enemy army. There's no civilians there, right?
No, there are no civilians there.
Where have I heard that rhetoric before?
Yeah, in fact, there are tunnels under the camp that you need to clear out. Just, look... It doesn't even have to kill them.
You're going to give one of the Johns an aneurysm.
It doesn't even have to kill
Those
them.
children were the sovereignty!
It doesn't even have to kill them. It just has to deny them the infrastructure of the camp, which is used for military purposes explicitly.
We can kill the guys. I just don't want to have any more other civilians on our conscience. If they're just evil guys
then
doing slavery...
burn down the camp and kill any obviously armed people who escape.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense, actually.
I don't know about the rest of you, but the fact that we've got someone on board who's literally, yeah, that's a war crime. No, that's not a war crime. It's very funny to me.
Flush them out and kill any of them that head your way.
Why didn't you tell us where we're going and we'll come up with a plan?
Okay. He sort of pulls out a local map. It's just outside of the northeast edge of the forest here. Sort of marks your map. probably a couple of days' walk.
Cool.
Deal with it as you
Right,
see
cool.
fit. I just suggested the
Did
fire
you-
because it would scare them.
Did you want us to do the summoning now and then?
Summoning tonight, yeah, I would think.
So don't go now.
Don't go now.
Okay.
And in fact,
Go
if the
tomorrow.
summoning's successful, I could send you to something a little less awful. And have the spirit go and kill them all themselves. Without the fire.
Cool.
Art is like stunned by the sort of desperation to win on display.
No, I mean, I know. It's you're fighting a guerrilla war against. I'm not even really sure about the contour. Maybe I should find out about the contours of this rebellion.
It's kind of a fanatical revolt, but with only one person who believes in the religion.
Yeah, what is this rebellion actually about? Just to ask you. What?
We're getting rid of the sovereignty from our territory, who are
See,
enslaving
that
our
sounds
people.
good. That sounds noble.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, burn it.
I was like, yeah, fuck them, they're slavers. In fact, the specific camp is made up of the class that mainly own the slaves.
Yeah, so it's an
yeah,
occupying
why not?
force enslaving the local population.
And that's, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
not, I'm
listen,
not
we're
saying
only gonna
it's...
kill. We're only gonna kill them. It's not like we're gonna spray paint their cars.
Yeah,
You know, like, it's not that bad.
I'm not saying it's pleasant, but it's necessary.
We're not going to chant mean things to them. We're just
Yeah.
going to kill them.
Yeah.
as we set fire to the building they're all sleeping in, we're just gonna whisper gently, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. I'm shaking my head as I light the fire, so everyone knows
Yeah.
I disagree with it.
Agree with it.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm with Art.
Would killing them in their sleep be a war crime? I guess it probably would be, actually, yeah.
But if they're
Because they're not
if
active
active
combatants when they're asleep,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. I
Yeah.
don't think you become a non-active combatant
Just because
when
you're
you're
having a
asleep.
nap. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I would tactically
Yeah.
take naps all the time to avoid being
You're
killed.
still a member of an
Yeah.
occupant of like an army. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Tactically napping.
tactical nap, so you end up behind enemy lines, wake up, and then sort of encircle them.
Quickly fall asleep on the battlefield.
That's what the
Have it-
Soviets did at Stalingrad, right? They had a tactical nap, and then they won.
Yeah, I'm actually-
It's
I don't think targeting an actual military target like that would be a war crime.
yeah, because it's, as I explained, it is infrastructure used explicitly for military purposes. They just happen to be sleeping there.
And this is why it's okay to kill Nazis, because they take so much methamphetamine they never fall asleep.
That's
So
it.
they're
Yeah,
never
they're
a war
always
crime.
awake. Fucking hell, how like
Yeah.
reading about
Although,
the
to
amount
be
of
fair, that was also the case with every other.
Everyone in World War II was
Unfortunately.
off the fucking gourd.
yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
basically the war was primarily about what uppers were the best ones. It seems like
Yeah.
setting aside.
Good old American uppers.
Yeah. Oof. Anyway.
And then, like, post that, it was LSD.
Yeah. Well, we're getting into whole other things now. So let's.
You have some fucking bad trips on a battlefield, Jesus
So let's
Christ.
refocus. Does the party want to do anything before the summoning event?
No, I want to click there, press the wait 8 hours button.
Wait 8
like I'm
hours. Yeah.
Daryl.
What are you all up to for a little bit, just so there's a bit of flavour to? What's everyone up to?
8 more hours of arguing over whether or not
This
what
is
we're
a
about
war-
to do constitutes a war.
Yeah. You're just walking around the
We're
camp.
round the lawyer.
Loudly arguing as the lawyer has his back kind of story. He's like, look, I'm reading about this now because of your case, not like war crimes, but other related stuff.
No, this is not what you should be reading about.
It's really
You're reading about the wrong thing.
Stay in your lane.
What?
I'm deliberately having him pursue the war crime angle because it's gonna wind John up so much. He's like, we're here to discuss whether Art did a war crime. Opening gambit, just immediately fucked. Like
but then you can argue that he's an individual person, so he can't be charged. So
the organization.
They're not at war.
The organization Art Junk, much like the organization Yvette Cooper that has very recently emerged. Oh man.
do you condemn Yvette Cooper?
No, but yes, also support the aims and methods of Yvette Cooper.
Yvette Cooper.
Oh, don't do that.
No.
Then you got to marry Ed Balls.
Oh
Oh God.
Uh,
Imagine marrying someone called Ed Balls.
Yeah.
Just
I can see
Make
why.
him change
I can
his
see
name.
why Yvette Cooper kept the surname. To be honest, would you all?
Yeah.
Yvette Balls is such a great
Balls
name
is
as well.
So funny. You can't take it seriously. Okay.
At least Ed Balls didn't go for another nickname for Edward, because then he might be Teddy Balls.
It's not ideal. Okay. So it is now nighttime. The Champion of Tempus is sort of like following the instructions in this huge tome. He has one of the Millhouses holding it as he's like drawing a sort of magical glyph in the dirt as best he can, and he's casting like gold and gems into it. And you see a couple of you see like a few halflings, a few elves, a few humans have arrived who are also giving some of their spell slots to this particular endeavor. Okay, so now he's gonna roll to see what bastard he summons.
Oh.
So you see the sort of contours of the glyph light up. You see the gold and the gems are sort of gradually being sort of consumed by the light that's produced. So each of you mark off the spell slot you offered. Oh, that's
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. After a while, the lights
Summon Jeremy.
summon Jamopoly, like showing up with his centrist piss spoiler documents. You
But he's got a friend this time.
yeah. Huh, what's going on? Okay. You do see the contours of the light turn to fire.
Zaros Satana, that's it. That's what's been rattling around the back of my head.
Very
Yes.
good. Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Incredible.
Out of these, and eventually the glyph gets completely subsumed by the fire, and out of it rises this sort of 6'4" heavily armored figure, black armor, large broadsword, and you see on him is an insignia of Tempus. He has the insignia on him.
Oh.
And you can't really see his face behind the grill. Like, it's kind of well obscured by some sort of darkness at this point. And he turns.
Do I feel some kind of like compunction to like kneel to this guy? What's going on?
You don't feel a compunction to kneel, but you do feel like an eerie familiarity with this figure. Like, you
Andrew, who is this guy?
You feel like a weird... Like, being near this guy kind of gives you a headache, actually.
Many such cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met people like that.
Yeah.
Do we recognize what this is?
This is a... I guess it would be like a Deva, is technically the D&D term for what this is.
Right. Okay.
A Deva, like an angel in the service of a particular deity.
Ah.
I guess that's what I would probably categorize this as. Basically, it's a celestial being that is,
Right.
yeah. They're sort of like a direct servant of the deity. It's just that they reflect the aspects of the deity they directly serve.
Right. That's why it looks like a warrior. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is what we in the paladin business call a big deal.
Yeah. But yeah,
Does he get the mandate of heaven? Is that what we're finding out?
This is a direct servant of Tempus who has been sent. But something about him feels, or them, you don't know their gender, feels a bit off to Angrif. Like it's making his head kind of buzz. It feels wrong that you two are in the same place at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this you from the future?
That's what I'm thinking.
I doubt that. Is it me from the future? It's not me from the future.
He's a bit taller than Angrif. He's a bit
Angrif, is that you?
wider.
Well,
Are you wearing heels? Are you wearing lifts?
Nice insoles.
Yeah.
Have you had the surgery?
Oh God, please. Yeah, like
Brother Champion, did this work? Is this what you meant to happen?
the champion looks stunned. He's like, I didn't expect a sort of a paladin of vengeance as a Deva to show up.
What were you aiming for?
Well, this is above expectations, to be clear, but I assumed they'd send the summoning would produce some kind of like more average being, I suppose. You know, like a deceased hero that was less, you know, this like
Right.
very
You
large.
thought it'd be like a white van man, and instead they've sent like a CEO.
Yeah, and if those words meant something to me, then yes.
A white chariot man,
Yeah.
and they've sent
Yeah.
a duke.
Chariot. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Just taking a picture of the Deva and to post on the internet and just
Yeah.
being like, wow.
Yeah, but he has like a huge broadsword as well, and you see that the Deva has approached the champion and is looking at him as if to give an order. Kind of go. He sort of gestures for the Deva to sort of lean down.
Before that happens, can I get like a read on why I'm getting like a weird contact high?
Yeah, I guess roll an insight check on yourself. Is kind of what this is.
Okay, all right.
I guess
that is a 21.
I guess the best it feels wrong that you exist at the same time as this being. That's like the max. Like you feel like, first of all, when this being turned to the champion, it like took a minute to look at you. Like you made eye contact with this being, and it felt like it felt like staring into death. And then, you know, it feels like you two should not exist at the same time. That something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like the very fabric of not like the ground itself, but like the physical space-time underneath you was fraying because this being is near you. Like the weave is collapsing. That's the kind of sensation you got from this being.
I have a
near you.
bad feeling about this.
Has anyone got a sketch of Angrath we can make sure it isn't fading away?
So the weeds collapsing by this guy being here.
Like, no, that's how anger feels. It's not any. None of you feel anything with this guy. It's just kind of weird to see a god's direct servant here. That's the weird thing. You're all kind of like overawed by this magical celestial being that you've all only heard about in myths and legends being here. Whereas Angrath, who should be like over the moon that like a Deva of Tempus is here, is just like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on?
Yeah, it do be like that.
Yeah, and you do spot that he's also winged, long black feathered wings.
I just assumed wings. To be fair, when you said Deva.
Yeah, black wings.
That must be really annoying to get through doors.
They're not supposed to have black wings, though, are they?
Yeah, they do seem to like smolder and have embers in them as well.
Tempus,
This isn't right.
Is Tempus evil god?
No, neutral. I think.
Neutral, lawful neutral, which is why Angrath is like that. In case anyone's wondering.
Or is wings supposed to be that hot? Guys?
But yeah, you see the champion gesture for him to lean down, whisper something in his ear, and the Deva takes a step back, gives the champion a nod, and just flies instantly into the sky. It basically leaves a sort of shockwave behind. You'll feel the wind.
I thought we were in a tent.
No, you were outside. You were outside for the summoning.
I also thought we were in a tent.
No, you were outside for the summoning. Just destroyed the tent. No, you were outside for this.
No, take the tent with you.
Yeah.
It's just the race car, but the chariot.
Yeah, but he's just gone into the night sky, away to do the champion's bidding.
What'd you send him to do?
I decided to send him to do the task I had planned for you tomorrow because, well, he can do it much more easily than you, and I can have you do some things that require a more mortal touch. Because you seem like
Such as?
people types.
Oh, we were people. That's what we call each other.
Can I,
We're always saying
can
this.
I ask the champion? Did you not feel the wrongness of this whole
It's a
event?
It's a Deva. It's nothing. Sometimes they look like that.
Yes, Diva.
No, not how they looked. The just fundamental wrongness.
Well, I mean,
No,
no. I summoned him. I felt a power over him, and I assume I still have that power until we complete the task I set for him, which is to lay the Sovereignty's army low.
I mean, you did say that your spirit will be driving how it turns out, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, usually the main summoner is the one who it's a reflection of. I just assumed Tempus maybe didn't 100% approve of everything I'd done on this campaign, and so sent a slightly less than perfect Deva.
is that so? Like out of character? Is this like a not? What's it when a paladin breaks their vows? I can't remember what you.
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
The
Yeah.
vibe you're
Is this
getting
like a-
is kind of Oathbreaker. It's kind of like it's either Oathbreaker or like really into, because you remember it was identified as a paladin of vengeance as well. So either it's like fully submerged in that sort of desire for vengeance, or it's an Oathbreaker of some kind.
Okay. Oathbreaker Deva. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Yeah. But the Deva is
There's
often...
no way I'm not gonna just call it a Diva.
Yeah.
Like,
You could call it a Deva, that's fine.
Okay, Diva.
Yeah. But it's already it's already gone. It moves so fast. Like, you blinked and some of you missed, but it went.
Well, can't get it back now.
I'll be back when they're
what do you want
done.
to do?
yeah.
Well,
I'm just eating a really crusty croissant.
yeah. Well, that's...
Crumbs, flakes all over.
Well, I guess that's the question, because now I have the Deva to do some of the more terrifying the sovereignty stuff. I can turn you all
Oh,
into...
to do more of the terrorism, huh? Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm not a prescribed group outside of the sovereignty, so... we're renaming I'm renaming myself a Vet Cooper, actually. I think you'll find. Okay, anyway.
I wonder if that VOD can survive.
It can, because I have not endorsed any group that is currently being discussed in Parliament. So that's...
I'm sorry, I've just seen Britain Elects on Twitter has added like the Jeremy Corbyn pie, and it's just Corb.
Corb. The Corb.
I love going to Ponder Corb.
Yeah, pondering my Corb, which I have right here.
Doing like
Can we get Corbyn's face onto this orb I own, and then it can become a Corb?
Wandering my corp.
Jamobbly Orbin.
Yeah. Anyway, before the champion decides to redirect you, that is where we will end the session. Well done, everyone.
Thank you for being here for the breaking news.
Yeah, I can't believe fucking
get your news from the D&D stream.
What the fuck was that? I'm genuinely fucking
I'm here.
astonished.
Ponder Corb. Get the scoop.
What the fuck?
Everyone ponder your corpse.
What the fuck happened? I'm genuinely astonished at that particular bit. It completely... I don't think I could fully return to concentrating on the actual session, but thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the cast of players. We will probably be back in 2 weeks. We'll have to see, because someone chipped their bottom fang and might be very upset about it. But anyway, we'll catch you then.
It was Angriff Jr.
Yeah, Angriff Jr., yes. We have to coddle their feelings. But we will catch you next time. We will be back, and we will see what the party does next time, which I assume will be somehow ruin the entire setup I give them, but we'll have to see. See you later, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Right.